We've looked at a lot of really strong decks recently, so let's just roll it back a little bit and look at something a little bit more budget. Welcome back everyone to more from the Sableyes. I'm Mitch, and today we are taking a look at the brand new Single Strike Cinderace from Chilling Reign. A very interesting card with quite a nice comeback mechanic. We'll take a look at it over on PTCGO, but first, before we do that, a couple of videos ago we had a like target of about 300, which we smashed in the first day, so I really appreciate you guys coming through. I'm going to try and hit that 300 likes again, so go down, like the video, I'd really appreciate it. So here we have our Cinderace deck list. Take your screenshots, get your list together. It's down in the description as well. You can copy it in there if you'd like. This Cinderace is really, really cool. Crisis Power as an ability is a very interesting one on this Stage 2 Fire-type Pokemon. It means that our attacks do 30 more damage to our opponent's active Pokemon for each prize that our opponent has taken. So if they've taken one prize, we deal 30 extra damage. If they've taken 5 prizes, well, suddenly our attacks are dealing a significantly different and higher amount of damage. Obviously, they've taken more prizes. Our attack Fireball Shot is also relatively achievable for a fire, and a colorless energy we deal 150, and then we can't use Fireball Shot again next turn. We can manipulate damage with that as well, because we are playing the Single Strike energy in this deck. We can cover that colorless cost and provide 20 extra damage, which is really, really cool. Because we've got those 4 Single Strike energy, we also have a couple of Houndoom as well, with Single Strike Raw allowing us to attach Single Strike energy from the deck, which is super, super powerful. Now, this deck list is pretty neat. It can deal a lot of damage, but one of the things is it does heavily rely on Snorlax at the start of the game. We need to Gourmandize to try and draw as many cards as possible, so be aware that it is a critically important piece to the puzzle. And apart from that, being a Stage 2 deck is a little bit awkward. I've got some interesting counts here. This deck list actually came from a Japanese player who had tested it out a little bit, but it's an interesting deck for sure. Cinderace is really, really cool, so we're going to take it onto the ladder and see if we can't get a couple of wins with it. If you've got a better deck list or a better version of Cinderace, then comment it down below and tell me how silly this one is. So we've got a pretty good start here, Snorlax in the active, plus we have a couple of Pokemon communication as well. We can shuffle away Hoopa to grab Houndour, and I think we might also grab a, we might shuffle this Cinderace in and grab a, dude bro, what's he called? Scorbunny, that's the one. We'll grab Scorbunny so that we can put those 2 basics down. We can attach the Single Strike to Scorbunny, and this means that we can draw a lot of cards with Gourmandize, which I'm always a big fan of. That Hoopa in the deck, by the way, very, very cool. A good, solid attacker up against all of the Shadow Rider Calyrexes that we're expecting to see on the ladder. As I mentioned in the last video, which was my best 5 decks in Chilling Reign so far, we do expect to see quite a lot of that Shadow Rider Calyrex, so keep it in mind. It's definitely going to be coming up quite a lot. As is this deck. I've noticed this quite a bit. It's the Dark Box deck that is featuring the Weavile-GX. We've got Type Null evolving into Silvally, and we have Moltres V to help get ourselves a few energies out of the discard pile as well. A really, really cool deck that I will definitely need to take a look at. A very, very powerful archetype by all accounts. So we will have to do our best to look into that. But it looks like our opponent doesn't really have a huge amount going on here. Ironically enough, we don't have a huge amount going on either. Our deck relies very heavily on a couple of turns of setup. So I think what we're going to do here is we're going to attach a Fire Energy. We're going to Evo Incense. We'll grab our only Houndoom that is in the deck. And then we're going to have to just Gourmandize for 2 cards, which is it's a pretty sad state of affairs, frankly, but oh my goodness, we've just got Cinderaces out the wazoo here. At least we managed to find that Scorbunny. So yeah, we're gonna see what this Dark Box deck has going for it. Hopefully they don't gust out our Raboot here, because that would be horrifically bad. But I mean, if you're seeing this, then every likelihood is that I do attack at some point. So you'd like to think that this Raboot survives and we turn it into a Cinderace and start attacking, but stranger things have happened. I will say, at this point, this deck is not particularly consistent. There's definitely some work that needs to be done to it, so do not pick this one up and immediately expect to win games, because it probably won't happen, but that's okay. I also want to point out as well that Cinderace is a really good kind of tech attacker in the original Cinderace list. If you want to have like a late game attacker that can potentially take some big knockouts, then Cinderace Single Strike from Chilling Reign is a very, very good option. No boss, they're just going to use red and blue to evolve into their Weavile, which is fair enough. They'll probably retreat into either the Weavile or the Moltres, you would think. It looks like they're going to attach an energy to Dedenne and then retreat manually, which is also acceptable. So that is what is going to happen. They're going to come through here and move an energy. No, they're going to use Dire Flame Wings to grab an energy and then knock out the Snorlax, which is a little concerning. Now, we are presently dealing 150 damage with Fireball Shot. We also deal an extra 30 because our opponent has taken a prize card. And whilst I quickly attach this Capture Energy to grab a Oricorio, and we also have the extra 20 from the Single Strike Energy. So we're going to be dealing about 200 damage here, I think. I'm just going to quick ball, get rid of, let's get rid of this Rod. We're going to grab another Scorbunny. We want to get as many of these down as we can. Play that down, maybe use the Single Strike Raw ability, grab a Single Strike Energy and attach it to the Scorbunny with no energy on it. And then we should be able to Fireball Shot, and this will deal 200 damage and take a knockout. You can see just how quickly the damage ramps up on this Cinderace. After only one prize being taken, we are dealing 200 damage for 2 energy, which is really, really strong. So if we can get our Scorbunnies into Cinderace quickly, then we should be good to go. Now, we've got Great Catcher in our hand, we've got Rare Candy and Cinderace in our hand, so we've got all the things that we need to take a knockout on another Pokemon. Unfortunately, we don't actually have any Fire Energy, which is a bit of a problem. Hopefully, they either knock out the Oricorio for 2 prizes, which would be unfortunate, but at least we get to keep attacking, or hopefully we can use Oricorio to draw into a couple of those energy cards. That would also be fantastic. Looks like they're going to use red and blue, get themselves a Sableyes GX to help them draw some cards, get some more energy in play as well is really important for these Dark Box decks. So that's going to be a priority for them for sure. And then the question is, what do they attack with? Do they attack with the Type Null into the Sableyes? Do they attack with the Moltres? What is going to be their best path to victory? I suspect that the Moltres will be the attacker. It's only reasonable, I think. It's only reasonable that is the way that it goes. They're going to shuffle in Weavile and Moltres once more into the deck, and then use Sableyes to draw some more cards, draw up to 5. That Disc Reload ability, very powerful on Sableyes GX. Being able to get themselves those extra cards in the same way our Oricorio does on our side of the field. Obviously, Sableyes and Oricorio both worth 2 prizes, so a bit of a risk, but also a lot of reward. Looks like they're going to throw down an EXP share onto the Dedenne as well, and maybe we're going to see another Dedenne or a Crobat here to draw some more cards. But yeah, our side of the field is looking pretty good as long as we can find a Fire Energy. If we find a Fire Energy, then we will be attacking, we'll be taking knockouts, and every turn we attack, when our opponent takes a knockout on a non-V, non-GX Pokemon, they only take 1 prize. As long as they do that, and we then return fire with a Cinderace of our own, that means that we will be in front on the prize trade, and eventually go on to win this game. But that's a little way off just yet. I'm going to see that energy go across onto the Moltres. And then they're going to be using Aura Burn. They've only got 1 card left in their hand, so we are in a really strong spot. They're going to draw 1. I'm going to put the Scorbunny in the active. We are just going to draw a Fire Energy. At some point, we have to draw into a Fire Energy. So let's go for it. We are going to Rare Candy both of our Cinderaces. We managed to find a Rare Candy off the top there. And then I'd like to Oricorio either into a Fire Energy or a Rosa, I think. I've only used 1 fire, so let's Dance of Tribute. Either Energy or Rosa is good, and we managed to find 2 Roses, which is even better. We're going to grab ourselves a Scorbunny. We're going to grab a let's grab a Fire Energy, and then what do we need? Like, I mean, there's no there's no trainers that we really desperately want. I'm just going to grab another Rosa, because if we hold our hand, then we will be in a fantastic spot to get energy again next turn. Let's play the air balloon down. Then we can, I think we can just Fireball Shot here. That's perfectly acceptable. We are 2 prizes away from winning this game, and at the moment we are dealing 230 damage thanks to that Single Strike energy. If they take one more prize, we're going to be dealing even more, 260. We've got the Karen's Conviction in our hand as well, so we can get even more damage out on top of that. To be brutally honest, we probably don't need that particular card. Karen's Conviction almost seems like overkill in this deck. I would almost, well, not almost, I definitely would rather some more consistency, I think. But that's okay. Rare Candy and Marnie offer the prizes are both good cards. Marnie is obviously better than Rare Candy at this point, but we do have a Scorbunny in play, so if we can find another Cinderace, then that would be good. But at this stage, we are in the same situation that we were in before. We need fire energy, and we need it quickly. If we can get it as soon as possible, that would be preferable. If we hold our hand as it currently is, Rosa will find that fire energy. If we don't, we have to sit back and have a bit of a cry. Looks like Boss is coming in here, so they're going to take a knockout on the Oricorio, which is, it's ambitious, but it's perfectly reasonable. They're going to take 2 prizes there to stop us from drawing cards. But in knocking out the Oricorio, they actually give us a Cinderace to attack with. So we're going to be able to take a knockout here and win the game. And I don't know if my opponent's fully comprehended the impact of that Oricorio being knocked out. We don't need to find the fire energy anymore. We have our attacker, we have enough damage. We've got 2 prizes left to take, so Cinderace is going to come up trumps here. And we could even play like Karen's Conviction and get a whole bunch of extra damage. Let's do that. Let's put the Single Strike energy on top and then Fireball Shot. How much damage are we dealing? 390! It's pretty good. 390 damage off of a single prizer is pretty solid. And that'll take our last couple of prizes as soon as our opponent moves an energy onto their Dedenne. They elect not to. Fair enough. Whew, big win in the end. Cinderace, pretty powerful. Okay, a game. We are on the game. We're going to capture energy. We've got almost nothing here. We're going to grab a Scorbunny. We're going to use Gourmandize for 1. Probably could have played the other Snorlax down to draw a second card, but you know what? It's fine. I'm not worried about it. This is rough. I'm not going to lie to you, ladies and gentlemen. In between that first game that we've played and this one, there have been many failed attempts at getting this deck to work. And at this stage, even a game that goes longer than 5 minutes would be preferable. This deck is faltering. It is definitely faltering. So we're just going to try and get Cinderace to work one more time. We might not necessarily win, but I'm going to do my very best. And we are up against Ice Rider Calyrex. So hey, listen, if we manage to win this game, I'm going to feel very, very good because we've not only got to deal 320 damage to a VMAX, but we also need to do it whilst our opponent is hitting for weakness. And that's a big concern. That is, frankly, a very big concern. Now, our opponent is going to use Keep Calling here with Sobble. So they're going to go through their deck and find another Sobble and play it onto the field. We're going to play that little strong energy. Then we're going to grab ourselves, not a Cinderace, a Raboot. So we're going to evolve there. Then I think we are just going to Marnie. We're just going to throw this hand away. Hopefully we can get ourselves a couple of basics to put down. That would be brilliant. We've got a Houndour. We actually have a Fire Energy and a Cinderace in our hand. So pretty happy with that for next turn. Let's Gourmandize, draw a couple of cards, and give ourselves as good a chance as possible for next time. This is actually really nice. We've got a Level Ball. We can get ourselves another Scorbunny. We can evolve our Cinderace and attach an energy. We can play down the Houndour, which is, okay, well, there you go. Well, that's what I get for talking about the good cards in my hand. I should have learnt by now, but apparently not. Apparently not. Apparently we let them shovel away. Apparently that's what happens. Apparently. What's the thing? I can't even remember it. We watched the Powerball. I've never been on live television before. I've gone mad, ladies and gents, playing this deck. I have gone criminally insane. And apparently, I haven't been on live television before. and give my granddad the remote as we watch the Powerball. What is going on? It's really late. Like, I'm looking out the window, which is over here. You can't see. It's like 10 o'clock at night. This is brutal. Apparently. Alright, here we go. Let's get cracking. Oh, an air balloon off of the top here. Unfortunately, there's not a lot for us to do, apart from just quick ball. I'm going to grab another Scorbunny. It's not ideal. This is not ideal. We can play the Scorbunny down. We can play the air balloon down. We can play the Gourmandize and get ourselves going. I'm going to hold on to the Cinderace because I don't want that Raboot to get gusted and knocked out, especially when it becomes a Cinderace. That would be very, very frightening. And now at least we've got an option to do a Rare Candy little play. But we'll wait and see. We will definitely wait and see. What's our opponent doing here? Shady Dealings Inteleon. These Inteleons have suddenly just gotten a real kick into life. They've gone from 0 to hero for sure. I'm grabbing a Melanie and a Level Ball, so that Level Ball will be able to find a Drizzle. The Melanie can attach an energy from the discard pile. We're looking for that VMAX, which they have. So now Ride of the High King is going to be knocking this Snorlax out, which is very, very powerful. The question becomes, can our Cinderace maintain some pressure and take some knockouts of our own? I'd like to think so. But the Comeback King may struggle, especially against a VMAX, 320 HP, and it's a water type. Maybe we could have gotten away with it if we had to force our opponent to draw some more cards, but that's be that as it may. What is that Bing Bong? Why am I getting Bing Bongs? Why am I getting Bing Bongs? I shouldn't be getting Bing Bongs. They've taken a knockout. We are moving up. This is a hell of a recording. I hope it goes to air. We've got a Raboot. We have a Cinderace. We have ourselves a Houndoom as well, which is fantastic news. We've got ourselves a Fire Energy. Then we've got ourselves a Marnie, which I'm very happy about. I'm looking for another Scorbunny, would be fantastic. And we have one. We have a Scorbunny, and we have a Cinderace for next turn, plus a Rosa. Good grief, Charlie Brown. Maybe we even go for the Oricorio here. Let's just be greedy. Let's go. Actually, we should probably Single Strike Raw before we do this, just to get that damage into play. We'll throw that onto the Raboot, and then Dance of Tribute. We can grab 3 cards. Those are certainly interesting cards. Let's Quick Ball. I'm going to get rid of the Com and grab another Scorbunny, because this will give us 2 Cinderace at the end of next turn. Let's Fireball Shot. 200 damage, which is pretty good. It's not good enough. It's not going to win us the game, but it is 2 hitting this Calyrex, and hopefully, after a few turns, we might just be able to get ourselves into a position where we can take some knockouts on some VMAXs, which would be fantastic. Now, that Path to the Peak is a problem. Path to the Peak is a big problem because I can't remove it. And now that Oricorio is useless. Oricorio literally just sits on the bench and does nothing now. That's a big problem. Aqua Bullet coming through. That's going to knock out the Cinderace and deal some damage to the Scorbunny, but frankly, I'm not concerned because we have a Cinderace and a Fire Energy off of this Rosa. I would have much preferred it, though, if we could have gone for the Oricorio. Unfortunate, but still workable. Let's grab ourselves a Fire Energy, firstly. That's the most important thing. I think a Rare Candy is also pretty good. And actually, no, maybe what we should do is we should grab... What do we do? Grab, like, a Rod? An ordinary Rod? We can't, like, draw cards with any of our Pokemon unless we get, like, a Snorlax. Maybe we just have to kind of hope. Maybe we just have to kind of live and hope. If we get, like... I don't know what we get here. The Raboot, I suppose, to evolve the Scorbunny on the bench. But we probably need some more energy. To be honest, I probably should have gone for a draw supporter here. But that's okay. We're just gonna play the cards as they are. It's fine. It's late, and I want to get a video out. And at the moment, the video going out is more important than the quality of my gameplay. Let's grab Scorbunny and Cinderace back into the deck and an energy. Then we can use our Level Ball, get ourselves that Scorbunny back, and we will play that down. I think that's pretty much all we need to do. Fireball Shot will take a knockout. But now we have our fate in the hands of the gods. Oh, hello there, Mr. Gods. Giving us a fire energy off of the prizes. Appreciate that very much. That is fantastic. They're going to Melanie to the benched Calyrex. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I feel like if that Path of the Peak weren't in play, we would be in a really strong spot. But I feel like our deck is about to peter out. What we should have done, rather than the Ordinary Rod, is probably grabbed another supporter. Because I don't see where our last few prizes are coming from. We will, of course, be able to take 3 prizes, so that is good. So even though our opponent has taken a knockout and removed our Cinderace from the active, we will be able to take a knockout this turn, and hopefully, we can get ourselves going from here. Let's Single Strike Roar, and we have literally just drawn into the last Single Strike energy in our deck, which is unbelievable. Let's just Fireball Shot, take the knockout. We don't have any more reboots. We need to draw something off of these prizes. Houndoom is nothing. Air Balloon is nothing. Fire Energy is nothing. I think we need to, like, now what we're going to need to do is we're going to need to, like, top deck Marnie into, like, we're going to need to do a whole bunch of stuff. This is going to be a disaster, I reckon. I mean, we took 4 prizes. I think that's a good effort. I can't complain about 4 prizes. Is this staying in? Are we gonna keep this game in? We'll wait and see what we top deck. I feel like this one's a bit of a lost cause, but the deck has worked. And if Path of the Peak wasn't in play, then we would be in a way better position. And this is the thing, right, is that even now, a good top deck could win us the game. So what we're going to do is we are going to shove that Scorbunny into the active. We're going to hope. Hope beyond hope. Actually, we'll put the Houndoom. That's just smarter. We got to hope beyond hope that we get something good here, and we don't. I think that's going to be it. I'm probably going to click the gears and concede, but the deck still works, so I'm going to keep this video in. Okay, so our first deck that's a bit of a meme out of Chilling Reign, and as you would expect, it was a little bit here and there. We had some issues with our consistency. Playability-wise, I've given this one a C as well. C for playability, C for consistency. It doesn't always do what it wants to do. You got Stage 1 support Pokemon, Stage 2 attackers. That is always quite rough, and in a format that is so fast, that can be a bit of a problem. It's still pretty potent, though. You can take big knockouts. Value-wise, I'm giving this one a B. Houndoom's obviously a very powerful card, so if you can get those, then you'll be well on your way towards a pretty solid deck. B for value and a B for fun as well, because when you get those big knockouts with Cinderace, it can be very fulfilling. Like, I mean, we knocked out something for a huge amount of damage in this video. To be honest, I can't remember what it was, because it was so long ago. Overall, a C+, a solid deck, but definitely not anything to write home about. Just acceptable. It's above average. Great work, everyone. Good effort. Solid stuff. Thank you very much to all of my channel members. If you'd like to become one, there is a link down in the description. There's also a join button next to the subscribe button, which incidentally you should have already clicked. I'd really appreciate that. Even if you think that you're not subscribed, you're probably not subscribed. I don't know how it works. Dadbod, Azazel, you guys are heroes. Fernando, Yolo, Stephen Ty, Agent Abel, Josiah, Leaf Devourer, Robsy, Brad, Chings, Brad, Justin, Crocotaco, Drew, and I think I missed out someone. Austin? I can't remember. Thank you very much for being Royal Sableyes, and all these people over here for being Mega Sableyes as well. You are all champions in my book. Thank you, everyone, and I will catch you next time for more from the Sableyes. Bye.